Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tamia and Tamika Show. Today, we're going to talk about underemployment and unemployment. You need to know the difference because there is a big one. Let's begin. Underemployment. It's pretty much, when you're at a job and like you're at a low level job, like you're getting paid like $8 an hour or $10 an hour. It's not sufficient enough for you to be able to take care of your family. So that's one thing that's considered underpayment, underpayment job. And then also if you're at a job and you qualify to be like senior manager or something in that nature, however, you're at a lower position, that would be considered underpayment, as well. Unemployment, underemployment is, unemployment means you don't have a job at all. So pretty much that's how that works.
And then also with unemployment, you have an opportunity. Of course, you in any position, in any circumstance, as long as you're breathing, you have an opportunity to improve. Okay, first of all. Second of all, for unemployment, you have. I would give you the advice to, first of all, shoot for the stars. You know, try to find a job that's in the industry that you're educated in or you have experience in, and try to go at least 10 to 20,000 bracket up. So you need to have a plan, a game plan of a dual, kind of tactic here. You shoot up for 10 to 20,000 range,
Right.
and I would say, and that's my advice, is to go also for that's the underemployed category. So under, let's say, whatever you're qualified for, or it can also be salary wise. You might have to take a lesser pay if you're looking for employment. So don't knock yourself out as far as, don't shut down your opportunities by
Right.
just looking for just something that you are comfortable with in your field. You don't want to shut yourself out of any opportunity. So my advice is to do both. Look for what you're, educated in and go up. You might even want to look for management also, because you never know what God will do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So apply for those too. But then also we want to be realistic, and, because you want to know what's in the field right now, the job market, and it might not be available for what you really want. So also open up yourself again, open up to going for those lesser jobs. And once you get your foot in the door, once again, you never know what God will do.
Exactly. And for the ones that's unemployed, there's different ways that you can be unemployed. So don't think like, oh well, somebody's looking at you like, oh, he's a bum or she's a bum, they're not working. Well, it could have been a voluntarily termination or involuntary where you quit, or it could be like the company closed down, or nobody knows what your scenario is. So don't let that get the best of you. So, and also, don't also apply for jobs that you don't qualify for, because you continue to be in that same rut. And then that would be kind of on you, if a job, there are instances where, they want a specific skill set, and you don't necessarily have that specific skill set or whatever, but you have experience. You may still be able to get into the door, but don't don't apply for a job where it requires like a college degree and you don't have one, and then don't understand why you didn't get that job because it requires a college degree. So so kind of know like what you're gonna qualify for and what you're not gonna qualify for. Don't just waste your time putting in unnecessary applications. So that will also, make you feel bad about yourself by still being unemployed, because you keep applying for jobs you don't qualify for. And also, like Tamia was saying, yes, sometimes you have to take a lower paying job, whatever, to advance yourself within that field. don't look at it as like, oh, I just know that I'm better than this and blah, blah, blah. Look at it as an opportunity for them, because now you're in a different scenario where you have to show them, like, hey, I'm good enough to be in that position. So, but I'm going to take what I can right now in order to gain that position. I'm not going to be like a sourpuss about it or whatever, because there's people who don't have a job at all, and so, that's another thing to kind of like look into as well. Let's see. And then you also have it where you can do career training, while you're doing an underpayment job. So, like, if you want to go to school, if you're not making enough, while you're not making a lot of hours or whatever, you can use that opportunity as well. And also, if you're unemployed, you also can use that opportunity. If you happen to lose your job due to, it was transferred overseas or something in that nature, they have programs for that depending on what state you're in, and they will pay for you to go to school on their dime. So, look into all of those, opportunities while you're trying to get to where you want to go. So, just look at it like this. God puts people in positions that other people don't feel that they're qualified for. So, therefore, you could be this one day, and then a week later, you can be somewhere else. So, never give up. Don't give up faith. Don't give up trying. Saying know that you are just as qualified, you are just as able to be where you want to be. So there's
piggybacking off of what she said, just a personal testimony. We've been in the mortgage business. I've personally been in the mortgage business for over 17 years, and I was put in a position involuntarily of being unemployed for a period of time.
Right.
But I took advantage of the opportunity because I found myself having years of experience in the mortgage business with tons of knowledge, but no license. So guess what? I went and got my license. So these are things that you can take advantage of while you are looking. And you never know what God will do, because just like the trucking business, the mortgage business is the same way. You can get your business, your mortgage license, your real estate license, and become a multi-millionaire. You can make more money than I was being on the same job for 17 years.
Absolutely.
Okay?
You took
So
a jump of faith.
Open up, open your mind, open yourself up, because there's opportunities out there, I'm telling you.
Right. And I'm currently in the pharmaceutical world, so it's a whole different ball game. But I'm killing it because some of the skills are transferable. So, it may not be exactly the same, totally different fields, but they're very good fields, and they can also transfer, into different things. So, yes, don't take what one would perceive as like your shortcoming and just kind of like bail and boo-hoo cry and be victim, saying take that as your personal testimony. You can do it, you will do it, and you will get there. And so, always applaud yourself, because, have faith in yourself. Because if you don't have faith in yourself, then no one else will.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to wrap it, Tamika is going to wrap it up, but I just want to get one more word in. Even after you get your full-time job, whether it's in management or you have to do an underemployment for a while, still go get your license. Whatever field is in, still pursue other avenues while you're still employed. I'm telling you, you will look out better that way, because once again, I know I said it about 3-4 times, you never know what God would do. I mean, he will blow on your business overnight. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, we can wrap it up. That's all I have to say, okay? Just wanted to encourage you.
Well, there you go. There's our segment right there on underemployment and unemployment. Welcome to the empowerment tip of the day. Set goals. Goals will help you create a roadmap to your success. It's always efficient to set goals, your short-term goals and your long-term goals. knock out your short-term goals. If you need to revisit them, do that until you get into your long-term goals. But always set goals. Don't have a blank canvas and you don't know where you're doing, because you're going to be all over the place and you have never get anything done. So it's very important to set goals. Tamia?
And also, when you set goals, think about looking at goals as a roadmap. Okay? So, like Tamika said, you set your long-term goals and your short goals. But within those goals, you break it down. You have a goal, then you do your research and you refer to your mentor, who's supposed to be an expert in where you're trying to, in what what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go. But that main goal, you break it down into many goals that will lead you into how you get to that one goal. You know what I mean? So, for example, if you want to be a business owner, let's say in the trucking business or whatever, you don't just go and get your license, boom. You need to do a little bit of research. If you're, especially you don't know the industry and you just heard it, or you know someone who's doing it also, do your research. Know what you need to do to get incorporated. You need to know what you need to do to get your license. Go to a trucking school. You need to find out. Go to a mentor who's already in the business. You need to find out how to get business once you get your license. So it's a lot of things. And then you start up front. I want to be a trucking business owner. Then you get your steps, your roadmap, your mini goals. And every goal, mini goals, you start from the bottom, meaning enroll in school.
Yes, absolutely.
You need to put a time frame to it. You need to check yourself. In other words, put some goals on yourself, put some time frames on yourself on that one goal, and then you go to the next one.
Absolutely.
And then the next one, and then the next one. But you don't just go haphazardly and just shooting for the stars and you have no idea what you're doing. Do some research, and that's where you get your steps. Get your steps from the research and a mentor. Put the steps, turn your steps into goals, mini goals. Put a time frame on it. I need to have this done. I need to be out of school by this date. You do all your research and see how long it takes. Then the next one, okay, I need to incorporate whatever that need to be done by this date. Look, you need to be serious, boo.
Yes.
Okay. So
Be serious and be efficient. This is our
empowerment tip for the day.
Don't let old myths stop you from buying your new home. Still believe you need a big 20% down payment? The truth is, you can get a monthly payment that's less than your rent. Think you need to dig up old pay stubs and tax docs? We can take your application in minutes and gather most of your documentation automatically. You can even apply online yourself, in a blink. And what magical place does this all happen? Right here at your local independent mortgage broker. Let us make your dream home a reality. Call today.
Welcome back. Today we're going to get right into time management. We're going to focus on an article we found, and it's called Working Smarter, Not Harder. And again, just a few tips on time management. The first one we're going to go over is complete most important tasks first.
absolutely.
So in other words, if you have big projects and it takes quite a bit of time to put in energy to put into it, and you probably need to get those big items off of your list, first thing in the morning, or that's the first thing you tackle, because you're going to have to put some effort into it. Those small things you can knock it out, but you don't want to start with those first, because when you knock it out, you feel like you accomplished something, and you got this big project that you haven't even started on.
Right.
Okay, so that's the first tip as far as managing your time. Try to tackle those big tasks first.
Yes, and learn when to say no. Oh my goodness, we fall victim of always being a yes person. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can be there. When you really should be saying no. Because first of all, that takes up way too much time. It keeps you, it takes your focus off what you really need to be doing. At the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself because no one else will. So learn to say no. You do not have to be on every scene. You do not have to be that go-to person. You do not have to be any of that. You know what I'm saying? Protect your peace. And then also make sure you get sleep. Adequate sleep. It also helps with, weight. It helps with your mind. It keeps you focused. You woke up one day and you're not getting enough sleep and you're very groggy, and then you're ready to go back to bed because you haven't received enough sleep. Well, there goes into procrastination because you're too tired to do the things that you need to do. So make sure that you always get enough sleep.
Yeah, and I want to tap in on that because personally, I just came from a women's retreat, and one of the workshops was on balancing your time between your work life, your career life, your church life, and your family life. Okay, so one of the things that helped me is because I'm a workaholic and I got a little bit of ego, so I want things done right how I want it done and in a certain time frame. So one of the things that me personally I had to work on is going to bed and making sure my body is rested, because I would stay up all half the night, 2, 3 in the morning, research stuff on Google, on YouTube, trying to find out how to do this, how to do child, but one, because it's hard to turn it off.
Right.
Once you get started, it's just hard to turn it off. So one of the things, I don't know if it will help you or work for you. I hope it does though.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I did was put myself on the schedule, and I had to stick to it. The first day it didn't work, okay. But the second day I got back up and I was like, I'm gonna do this, and you just have to stick to it. And that cutoff time, if you got a schedule, let's say you work and you do something on the side or whatever, and you come home and you set your time from 6 to 9. Stick to that. You got to make sure you have your little list of things you want to get done in a certain time, but when 9 o'clock come, you're going to have to just put a check mark by it and pick it up the next day. But stick to that 9 o'clock if that's your schedule, because let me tell you, you cannot let that career side, and I know for ambitious people, it's hard. Again, it's hard to turn it off, and we want to succeed. The old saying, the early bird gets the worm.
Yes.
I mean, it's true, and we put in the work, and it does pay off when you put in hard work. So we all train for that, but you got to just learn how to cut it off and pick it back up the next day, because you got to have another life.
Right.
Can't neglect your family and kids, okay?
I mean, you can, but you won't have any. But so that's choose your poison. So, but yeah, that goes right into devote yourself into a specific task. Like if you're devoting yourself into your task, you're turning off the browser, you're turning off the TV, you're turning off your phone. Nobody can distract you. If you have children, go into a different room. If you have elder children that can watch your smaller children, use that resource so you can be able to do the things that you need to do. And then, have an early start. Oh man, sometimes, if you just have to do something at night, like she said, like Tamia said, put a check mark by it and just, gear for an earlier start tomorrow, the next day, say maybe 2 hours before you normally would, start on this project or whatever. Give yourself a little bit, time. So that's another way in order to, keep within the time management. So all these are good ideas. So let's see. And then we also have, turnkey tasks to habits. So it takes 21 days to make something a habit. And so if you have the habit of, we have the habit of, waking up, saying our prayers, brushing our teeth, making our bed, feeding, our kids, ourselves, or whatever, getting ready, these become habits, Well, I hope that you have the habit of brushing your teeth and stuff. But, those, it takes 21 days to make something a habit. So getting the habit getting up, doing all that, saying going to work and also working for yourself if you have a side business. And so your side business can become your main business.
And then also, I'm getting this, by the way, from creativitypost.com in case you guys want to look it up for future reference. One of the tips also is utilize your weekends just a little bit. Meaning, in other words, don't, like Tamika was saying, don't try to take on everything on your list. Again, if you have a side business or your main business, don't try to do everything in one day. For example, like I said before, I had to set a schedule for that works best for me, to be on a schedule. And then, once again, don't try to do everything from 6 to 9. Have a list, and whatever you don't get done by 9 o'clock, just put a check mark. Get it done the next day. Just it rolls over to the next day. That's called a schedule, okay? And then on the weekends, the other tip was about the weekends, just a little bit, for those entrepreneurs who are, workaholics, and you want to, again, we are ambitious. We want to be successful. So the key is to get stuff done efficiently, but not give away your whole weekend. So the way I do it is in the morning when I get up, do my worship, whatever, my motivation, and then commanding my day. Okay, then what I do is, depending on what time I get up, either it's from 8 to 10 or from 9 to 11. It's like a 2-hour block that I work on just my stuff. After that, it's weekend boo.
Right.
But I just do a little bit of work because again, for those ambitious people that we got to get work done and we want to succeed, that's a good tip. That way you get a little bit of work done, that extra work day. But then you can have your weekend too for your family and friends, okay?
Right, absolutely. And in between tasks, it's important to take a mini break. Like maybe a 10-minute break, so you won't just kind of be like, shoom, zoom, zoom. Slow it down. Say, I'm done with this task. Let me take a little break here, like a 10-minute break. Don't take too ever, because when you take too long of a break, procrastination starts to kick in. You're not wanting to go back to it. So after you're done on task, take a break, then go on to the next task or whatever. So you'll keep your energy. If you need to get some coffee, you need to do something, but don't just go straight into one task, into another task, because you will burn yourself out. Trust me. Exercise. Eat regularly. This will also help with your energy level. If you're anemic, take your iron pills. Yes. Yes, I know, they cause constipation or whatever it may go, but take care of yourself. You can't do anything without you taking care of yourself first. You have to feel your mind, your body, and your spirit. All the negativity, let all that stuff go. Burn sage in your home. That helps with clearing any of the negativity. Do all that. Read your Bible. That helps clear the negativity, because you can't have a productive day and you have all this goggle on your mind. So
you can pray. I don't burn sage. That's advice from Tamika.
These are just some things that you can do in order to keep time management.
Thank you for watching the Tamia and Tamika show, and be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel.